This is a story about a woman named Kacha. Kacha was a very mean woman. That's why I don't like to show her face. And she liked nothing better than dancing. Every Sunday she would go to the village tavern, sit in the corner, and wait for the dancers to come for her. But no one would ever ask her for a dance because she was so mean. And there was such beautiful music playing. She would have loved to dance to that. Sama královna ceduličku psala, aby šohajka na vojnu dostala. Čo bogaj, nebogaj, čáry nebogaj, čo bogaj, nebogaj, čáry nebogaj, čo bogaj, nebogaj, čáry nebogaj, hej, bogaj, 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 čáry nebogaj. And everybody was dancing. Sama královna, ceduličku psala, hej, ceduličku psala, aby šohajka z tej vojny dostala, hej, z tej vojny dostala. Čo bogaj, nebogaj, čáry nebogaj, čo bogaj, nebogaj, čáry nebogaj, čo bogaj, nebogaj, čáry nebogaj, hej, bogaj, 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 čáry nebogaj. Everybody was dancing, except for Kacha. And she sat there in the corner every Sunday for 20 years without a single dance. And she was getting meaner and meaner and meaner. Finally, one Sunday, she thought, I would dance with the devil himself if he asked me. At that moment, the door opened, and in came a stranger. He had a beautiful hat and a green cape. Maybe he was a hunter or a park ranger. He walked across the dancing floor, bowed deeply, and said in a melodious voice, "Excuse me, young lady, would you please dance with me?" Kacha looked around who he was asking, but no one would sit close to her. She jumped onto his neck. He put his arm around her, and they danced. Sama královna, ceduličku psala. Hej, ceduličku psala. Aby šohajka z tej vojny dostala. Hej, z tej vojny dostala. Čo bogaj, nebogaj, čáry nebogaj. Čo bogaj, nebogaj, čáry nebogaj. Čo bogaj, nebogaj, čáry nebogaj, hej, bogaj, 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 čáry nebogaj. They danced one dance, and another, and another. Finally, it was midnight. The musicians were packing their instruments, and it was really dark and scary. And Kacha said, I would like nothing better than to dance with you all my life. Well, that could be arranged, but you would have to come with me to my home. home, and that is a long way away. But if you climb onto my back, I can carry you there. Kacha didn't have to be asked twice. She jumped onto his back, and the stranger laughed. He changed into the devil that he was and flew with her to the bottomless pit. Honey, we're home. Get off my back. Kacha wouldn't let go. Honey, it's been a long flight, and you're just a little bit on the heavy side, you know. Get off my back. Kacha held on. So he asked his friends to help him, and they pulled one way, and he pulled the other way, and they pulled, and he pulled. They nearly tore the poor devil in two, but they couldn't get Kacha of his back. He went to ask Lucifer, "Excuse me, Prince of Darkness, would you please help me? I picked up this woman and she doesn't let go. Please, please, pretty please, get her off my back." "Oh, no," said Lucifer. "You should have left her alone. Kacha has a long and sinful life ahead of her. Take her back where you took her." "Oh, well, I will fly her back." He was so tired he couldn't fly anymore. He had to walk all the way back to the earth. And it was a long walk. And a hot summer day. And he was getting really tired. Finally, he came to a meadow where a shepherd in a white sheepskin coat, exactly like mine, was tending his sheep. "Excuse me, shepherd, would you please carry this young lady on your back for me for a little while? I am going to reward you handsomely." Look at that. "Oh, I'm sorry. If you're willing to pay, and if she's willing, why not?" Kacha was really bored with the devil, and the shepherd was really handsome. "Oh, that's heavy." The devil flew up in the air. He had to use his magical power, piddlicky, puddlicky, piddlicky, puddlicky, to get back to the ground. Oh, what did I do to myself? Such a heavy load and such a hot day. Forget about it. And Kacha keeps yakking and scolding me. What a load. Oh, what? And she keeps yakking and scolding me. Forget about it. Oh, look at this nice little lake here. What if I very carefully pulled one arm out of my coat? Careful, quiet. And what if I pulled the other arm? Is Kacha noticing anything? Not a thing, right? Yeah. And what if I tiptoed closer to the lake and bent over and tossed her in. I can fly, I'm so light, I can fly. The devil was overjoyed when he heard about it. I'm going to reward you tremendously, but now I have to take care of some business. I'll talk to you as soon as I contact my broker. In this country, there was a king. He was a bad king. He would spend money right and left, and finally, one day he looked into his treasury. What's happening? My treasury is empty. We're in the red. What are we going to do? Prime Minister, Attorney General, what are we going to do? His Prime Minister and Attorney General were even worse than the king. They were stealing from the king and from the people, but they had an answer for everything. Your Majesty, it's very simple. We're going to impose new taxes. Yes, we're going to cut taxes. Yes, taxes, taxes, taxes. Yes, but what if my people cannot pay? That's a great idea, but we're going to beat them up. And we're going to put them in jail. Beating in jail, beating in jail, beating in jail. Well, that's a great idea, but it's so sad. What should we do? Oh, I know. Let's have a party. A fundraising party. Call my chief astrologer. I want to hear what's in the stars. The astrologer looked at the stars. Your Majesty, I don't dare. Oh, don't be afraid. We're not going to punish you for something that's written in the stars. Your Majesty, it says that your chief, your Prime Minister and your Attorney General are going to be taken by the devil in 3 weeks. I love it, I love it, I love it, I love it. What about me? Let me hear it, let me hear it. Your Majesty. It says that the devil will take you in 3 more weeks. Throw him to jail and let him rot there for his impudence. And we are going to party for 6 weeks. Party, 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 party. And they started partying, but in a day, the Prime Minister and the Attorney General tiptoed away to their mansions, and they started giving away to people everything they had stolen from them. In 3 weeks, the devil appeared to Cuba the shepherd. You can save the Chief Justice and the Prime Minister, and they're going to pay you for that. But, mark my words, do not try to save the king. He belongs to us. Now follow me. Cuba followed the devil to the Prime Minister's mansion, and he saw the poor man being picked up in a huge bag. He stepped over and said, "Run away, devil, or else." And the devil started shaking and shivering and showing a tremendous fear. He dropped the bag and flew away. Cuba followed him to the Attorney General's mansion. And there he saw the same thing happening all over again. The poor man was tossing and turning in a huge bag. Kuba stepped over and said, "Run away, devil, or else." And the devil started shaking and shivering and choking a tremendous fear. He dropped the bag and flew away. Now the king stopped partying and came to Kuba for help. "Oh, shepherd, please help me. Do something for me." "Your Majesty, I would love to, but I can't. I would be just putting my own life on the line." "Oh, please, please, pretty please, save my life." "Well, let's talk about it. If you promise to be a good king for the rest of your days, I can promise to be there. I will try my best. But you have to be a good king for the rest of your days. Is that a deal? Is that a deal?" The king changed so tremendously that his people started liking him again, and they were sorry for him in 3 weeks. He looked everywhere out of the palace windows. He couldn't see Kuba the shepherd. And then there was a huge gust of wind, and the king himself climbed into the devil's bag, and the devil picked him up and carried him out the gate and down the wide marble staircase into the French garden and by the pond with golden fish, when Kuba came running over the hill, yelling, "Run away, devil! Run away!" The devil stepped over. "Didn't I tell you you cannot save the king? You're risking your own life." "I don't care about my life, and I don't care about the king, but Kacha is alive, and she's asking everywhere about you." No one ever heard about him. Kuba wouldn't take any word except perhaps a bag of gold. Oh, this is heavy. Let me put it here in my cellar. And he became the chief counselor to the king. "Thank you, shepherd. Thank you, Your Majesty." And when the old king died, Kuba succeeded him to the throne. Welcome, King Shepherd the First.